The US government, it's all set to lift a controversial immigration policy. It's known as Title 42 today. That has blocked migrants caught at the US-Mexico border from seeking asylum since 2020. Scores of migrants have now voiced confusion and anger over a looming change to the entry rules. More details in our next report. Take a look.
Let me be clear. The lifting of the Title 42 public health order does not mean our border is open.
U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas outlined new regulation on Wednesday amid a surge of migrants at the southern border with Mexico as COVID-era health restrictions known as Title 42 expire this week. The new regulation, which goes into effect on Thursday, will deny asylum to most migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border illegally, a key part of President Joe Biden's immigration enforcement plan.
The rule presumes that those who do not use lawful pathways to enter the United States are ineligible for asylum. It allows the United States, it allows us to remove individuals who do not establish a reasonable fear of persecution in the country of removal.
Mayorkas said the new rule would mean harsher consequences for illegal border crossers, including a 5-year ban from the U.S. if they do not qualify for asylum.
Crossing irregularly is against the law, and those who are not eligible for relief will be quickly returned.
Mayorkas also called on Congress to fix what he called a broken immigration system, saying lawmakers failed to provide funds requested by the Biden administration for border agents and facilities.
I cannot overemphasize that our current situation is the outcome of Congress leaving a broken, outdated immigration system in place for over 2 decades, despite unanimous agreement that we desperately need legislative reform.
Migrants have been amassing in Mexico this week, and those who have already crossed into the United States are straining border cities. Colombian migrant Giovanni Arias was waiting to cross in the Mexican city of Tijuana.
I'm like in limbo. Let's see what happens. I hope to be able to pass to the United States because I have a son there. He's 18 years old, and I want to be with him.
Some migrants have said they are scrambling to enter the country before the new rules come into effect, including Venezuelan migrant Luis Rivero, who planned to cross illegally into El Paso.
This time, we're trying to cross illegally because we previously turned ourselves into the Border Patrol and they didn't process us. They didn't call our contacts and families in the United States. On May 11th, things are about to change. We will no longer be able to enter in the same way. It will be stricter.
Meanwhile, migrants in transit, many of whom climb onto cargo trains, were aiming to reach the border as soon as possible, even as some, including 23-year-old Venezuelan migrant Romero Solano, say they don't necessarily expect the change to be in their favor.
I understand that they will modify Title 42, which will be replaced by Title 8, but I am not clear what the new restrictions will be. It still has us pretty confused. Will it be easier? I doubt it, because we know that as migration has increased, tougher measures have been taken.
Now, for more on this, we earlier spoke to our correspondent Susan Tehrani. Now, the question is, over 60,000 migrants have arrived in New York, with more than 37,000 currently receiving city care, according to the mayor's office. So how is New York preparing for this surge?
New York Mayor Eric Adams has called the influx of migrants to New York City a quote-unquote unprecedented crisis. So far, the city has set up some 122 emergency shelters, including in empty office spaces and hotels. However, with Title 42 expiring, New York is expected to see 600 to 800 asylum seekers coming a day. Some plans that the city has is to set up tents in Central Park or even close some roads for makeshift shelters. However, Eric Adams is also sparring with some other New York officials over his plans to send migrants to the suburbs. Suburban officials are reluctant to take these migrants, with one Rockland County town securing a court order to stop Mayor Adams' plans. Governor Kathy Hochul has declared a state of emergency, and she has allocated an additional 500 more National Guardsmen to the already 1,000 that are present in the state to help with this surge. But other big cities here in the Northeast, like Chicago and Philadelphia, aren't faring any better.
Also, Susan Tehrani sent us this report on whether the Biden administration in fact, has a plan going forward.
The government says it has a plan. However, critics disagree. The Biden administration's strategy hinges on several things. First of all, providing more legal pathways for migrants to come to the United States without coming directly to the border. That means setting up some processing centers in other countries. The U.S. also is proposing a rule that would generally deny asylum to migrants who have first traveled to another country and then to the United States. And then it also wants to quickly monitor and send the migrants who are not eligible for asylum back and deny them re-entry for 5 years. Now, critics say that the Biden administration should do more first and foremost to secure the border and also provide those border cities with the proper resources in the meantime.